I'm gonna deck your halls, bub.
We have a very rotten list of holiday duds that somehow fills us with Christmas joy. Now, just because a film is rotten doesn't mean it doesn't come with plenty of Christmas cheer, or at least enough one-liners, touching scenes, or outright weirdness for it to win our affections at this time of year. So, this Christmas, for the first time ever, we at Rotten Tomatoes are spreading the love. We're giving you an expanded list of the best Christmas movies ever. But these movies happen to fall on the rotten end of the Tomatometer. They're movies critics mostly dismissed, but that are still worth your Yuletide time. So let's count down the most rotten Christmas movies we love. Starting with number 10, A Bad Mom's Christmas. This 2017 sequel celebrates Father Christmas by doubling the number of moms in the first film. Bad moms Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell, and Kathryn Hahn butt heads with their own mothers in a comedy that doesn't aspire to much more than a chance for these talented actresses to pass on a little Christmas cheer and chaos, and that they do. Starring Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell, Kathryn Hahn, and directed by John Lucas and Scott Moore. Critics say, featuring twice the moms but roughly half the laughs, A Bad Mom's Christmas is a slapdash holiday sequel that falls short of the original with a disappointing dearth of good cheer.
When you came over to the house last week, I heard you and Daddy in the bedroom, and you kept screaming at him.
Oh. Yeah, no, honey, those were happy screams.
They didn't sound happy. And then you punched the wall and yelled the F word.
Okay, yeah, I don't really recall doing that, so yeah, I love that.
You did. You were like, oh my God. Just like that. Oh my God.
Okay, all right, shh. Here's the thing. Yeah, your dad and I were just playing a fun little grown-up game.
You played the game 7 times.
6.5, but who's counting? Here's the thing, let's just not talk about this. Cool?
Cool.
High five.
Got it.
Awesome.
Number 9, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. There's something charmingly old school about Kevin McAllister's second adventure. He travels to New York by mistake, thanks to airport security regulations, enjoys a New York City that feels bygone for some vague nostalgic reason, but if remembering Christmases of yesteryear isn't enough for you, Home Alone 2 is worth it, if only because it's a hoot to see young Kevin inflict a possibly fatal amount of damage to the hapless wet bandits once again. Starring Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, and directed by Chris Columbus. Critics say a change of venue and more sentimentality and violence can't obscure the fact that Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is a less inspired facsimile of its predecessor. Number 8, Earnest Saves Christmas. Now, you've got to appreciate a movie that gives the whole plot away in the title. One of the earliest Earnest films, Ernest Saves Christmas sees Ernest helping Santa Claus as he seeks his replacement. It's kind of a proto-Santa Claus in a weird way, starring Jim Varney, Oliver Clark, Noel Parker, and directed by John R. Cherry III. Richard Corliss from Time Magazine says, only marginally insufferable, the Earnest movie is a big screen example of the TV sitcom tendency to go broad and sappy with a token Yuletide show each December.
Superior Talent Incorporated. Marty Brock
is my second-born son without a sliver of gratitude, who wouldn't even pick up his own mother at the airport. I'm only glad his father never lived to see the day when his son would treat his own mother this way. Me, a lonely old woman forced to cope in a world of indifference.
Hold on just a minute.
Where is he? Where is Martin? I need him to help me with my will. Having walked from the airport, I'll be dead soon.
I don't know what to do. He's with a client.
That's life for you. You have two sons, one good, one bad. And wouldn't you know it, with my luck, the good one dies.
But Mrs. Brock, I'm sure he didn't know you were coming.
Don't side with him, honey. There's no future in it. Just tell me where he is.
Number 7, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, it doesn't take a lot of work to make the Santa Claus fable horrifying. So, Silent Night, Deadly Night takes the next logical step and makes an axe murderer out of him. There are some depictions of mental health in this movie that deserve big lumps of coal, but if you're willing to just accept Silent Night, Deadly Night as a seasonally appropriate 80s slasher, you won't be disappointed. Starring Robert Brian Wilson, Lillian Chauvin, Gilmer McCormick, and directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr. Kat Hughes from THN says, as a modern audience, it's hard to see these deaths as anything but silly, but there is at least still a fun factor that keeps the viewer watching.
It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring. Not even a mouse.
Number 6, Almost Christmas. The worst thing Almost Christmas has going for it is also the best thing. It's so familiar. It's about a big family coming together for the holidays, and they all have their own personal drama and relationships, but also there's a lot of love and more than a few laughs. Now, we've seen this movie before, but we keep seeing it because it works. Like Milk and Cookies for Santa, comedy dramas like Almost Christmas and The Yuletide are a natural, comforting fit. Starring Danny Glover, Gabrielle Union, Monique, and directed by David E. Talbert. Critics say, while far from the worst holiday dramedy audiences could hope for, Almost Christmas isn't distinctive enough to prompt a visit to the theater or annual Yuletide viewings.
I got this. Uncle Lonnie got this for you, okay? Uncle Lonnie said he would do it. Oh! Go, get out! 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 Ow! Woo! 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 I got a little buzz on my finger that time. Woo!
Does Uncle Lonnie know what he's doing? No.
It's
my birthday! Oh, he actually got it! Great job, Uncle Lonnie!
Who's the man?
Uncle Lonnie!
That's what it's all about. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
Good job! You actually did
I did not let the Grinches ruin Christmas for you.
Hey, Uncle Lonnie! Oh! That's not good.
Oh, 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 oh.
Did you get that? I just posted it. Good.
Don't tell Cheryl. Do not tell Cheryl, okay? Uncle Lonnie has it, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Number 5, The Holiday. Now, it's fair to say that the holiday is what would be if it only focused on 2 couples instead of like 25. Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet star as 2 women who swap homes for the holidays and fall in love with Jude Law and Jack Black, respectively. Is the holiday a little predictable? Sure, but in that special way that's warm and reassuring. It's like the Christmas rom-com equivalent of chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Starring Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, and directed by Nancy Meyers. Critics say, while it's certainly sweet and even somewhat touching, the holiday is so thoroughly predictable that audiences may end up opting for an early checkout time.
Iris, hi, it's Amanda.
How are you? How's it going?
Everything's going great. How are you?
Oh, I'm loving it. Listen, can you hold for a sec? My brother's on the other line.
Graham?
Yes, you said you met.
Yes, we did meet. How is he?
Fine, I think. Can you just hold on for a sec?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, sorry, that was Amanda.
How'd she sound? How's she doing?
She just asked me how you are.
And what did you say?
I asked her to hold. Can I call you back?
I can hold while you speak to her.
Really?
Find out how she is.
Okay. My brother wants to know how you are.
Can you tell him that I'm good and that I'm just taking Charlie for a walk in the village? What's he been up to, did he say?
I'm not sure. Do you want me to ask him?
Sure.
Okay. Hold, please. I can't believe that you have had sex with the woman staying in my house!
He told you that?
Oh, my God!
Oh, my God!
Oh, my God! I thought I was talking to Graham. Could you just hold, please? I'm terribly sorry. I can't believe you've had sex with Amanda. The one thing she asked me was, are there any men in your town? And I assured her that there were not. And then you meet her and immediately get into her knickers.
Still me.
Number 4, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. No, not the classic animated special featuring Frankenstein's monster himself, Boris Karloff, as the narrator. That holiday gem sits at 100% on the Tomatometer. This Jim Carrey vehicle, directed by Ron Howard, translates Dr. Seuss's whimsical illustrations into live action, and the results aren't particularly good, for goodness sake. But while the Dr. Seuss meets Tim Burton's Nightmares aesthetic is a bit unsettling, the comedy holds up, especially in a scene where the Grinch's own echo shouts, "You're an idiot," at him. Starring Jim Carrey, Taylor Momsen, Christine Baranski, and directed by Ron Howard. Critics say Jim Carrey shines as the Grinch. Unfortunately, it's not enough to save this movie. You'd be better off watching the TV cartoon.
Excuse me.
The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water.
Santa Claus, what are you doing with our tree?
But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick.
Why, my sweet little dot.
The fake Santa Claus lied.
There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and I'll bring it back here.
Santa, what's Christmas really about?
Vengeance! Presents.
Number 3, The Family Stone. Imagine if the worst blowout your family had over a holiday meal was a movie, and also kind of charming and cathartic rather than stressful. That is The Family Stone, which stars a great Diane Keaton as a forceful matriarch and Sarah Jessica Parker as a potential future daughter-in-law. Rachel McAdams plays kind of a Regina George in sweatpants and almost steals the show. And oh, almost forgot, don't forget to bring tissues. Starring Dermot Mulroney, Sarah Jessica Parker, Diane Keaton, and directed by Thomas Bazucha. Critics say this family holiday dramedy features fine performances, but awkward shifts of tone.
Okay, Everett, look, I just want you to know that...
Oh my God, no, it's all right, sweetie. Let's just get this off, you're gonna be fine. It's your pretty hair.
I'm just as good as any of you.
Of course course you are. Better, probably.
Man, I'm gonna get Everett. When I get Everett, come on. Hey. Oh.
Sorry. We've met. I'm Brad.
Julie.
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
What's so great about you guys? Nothing. It's just that we're all we've got. We're not so great. And you're the worst. I'm the worst.
Nothing happened. Stop chasing me. I didn't do anything. Stop chasing me. Boys.
Why does she think she slept with you?
Well, we were kind of wasted. That's
I want this nonsense.
Number 2, The Polar Express. Robert Zemeckis' take on the classic Christmas children's book was extremely ambitious. Only problem was that motion capture technology wasn't quite there yet in 2004. So CGI Tom Hanks and company ride the titular train straight through the uncanny valley. Now, you can't help but appreciate what Zemeckis was trying to do, and there's a very smart Christmas story underneath the eerily smooth textures. In fact, there's a case to be made that the uncanny look of the movie only adds to the surreal holiday magic that propels this mighty train's engines. A case, but not an open and shut one. Starring Tom Hanks, Michael Jeter, Peter Scolari, and directed by Robert Zemeckis. Critics say, though the movie is visually stunning overall, the animation for the human characters isn't lifelike enough, and the story is padded.
Keep up with me! Left! Right! Left! Right! Left! Right! Left! Right! Oh no! Right! Brace yourselves!
And before we reveal number 1, here are some honorable mentions. The Star Wars Holiday Special. George Lucas made a habit of going back to update or change parts of the Star Wars films he didn't like for new special editions. But the one thing he can't do is erase this 1978 TV special from history. Sure, there was a cool cartoon that introduced Boba Fett to the far, far away galaxy, but the actors all look miserable. Large swaths of the dialogue are incomprehensible Wookiee speak, and at one point Chewbacca's grandpa gets noticeably horny. If you haven't seen it, well, it's actually incredibly hard to find. But you can watch a portion of the animation from the special called The Story of the Faithful Wookiee on Disney+. So at least we have that to enjoy. Starring Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and directed by Stephen D. Binder. Gail Williams from The Hollywood Reporter says, if the prospect of a 2-hour Star Wars holiday special conjured up visions of May the Force be with you repeated ad nauseum in your head, this show on CBS was a welcome surprise.
Mala, it's so good to see you. Happy Life Day.
She says it may be a happy life day for you, but personally, she's seen happier ones.
I don't want to tire the channels. So could you do me a favor and send either Chewbacca or Han Solo to the screen, please?
She says that she would like to grant your request, but is quite unable to do so.
You mean they haven't arrived yet?
She says there has been no contact.
Yes, I think I understand her message. That Imperial Patrol must be giving them more trouble than we bargained for. Mala, are you alone?
If you would permit me. No, she says she is not alone. She's with a friend.
4 Christmases. Four Christmases understands that the holidays can be rough, especially if you're dealing with multiple families who may or may not all like each other and or you and your partner. This 2008 film, which has developed a following over the past decade, adds some hilarious big-name actors to that reality in order to create a movie experience that's a relatable escape. Look out for a very funny turn by Katie Mixon, who would go on to star in American Housewife. Starring Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon, Robert Duvall, and directed by Seth Gordon. Critics say, despite a strong cast, this sour holiday comedy suffers from a hackneyed script.
What?
Xbox? Whoa. This is awesome, man.
Top shelf for you, pal. It's got the triple core processor, wireless controllers, the whole deal.
There was a $10 spending cap.
How in the hell did you find an Xbox for under $10? Looks like somebody's trying to show off how much money he makes. Yeah. Or maybe someone's family didn't tell him that there was a $10 spending cap.
Or maybe if you came home more than once a decade, you'd know crap like that.
Guys, can we try to stay positive here? What's the problem? We're just trying to give some gifts to some children. It's Christmas. Let's keep the momentum going here. Okay, the next gift is to Cody, and this is from your dad, okay? I'm sure this is a good gift, too, okay? Dig in there. Tear it up.
A flashlight? That's it? Well, you love me, Daddy.
Okay. Honestly, I think it's my fault. I didn't know that there was a $10 spending cap.
Well, my gift from Santa Claus better be straight cool.
I have a feeling that your gift from Santa is going to probably ring in right around $10, too.
Why? Is Santa Claus cheap like my daddy?
No, Santa is Dad. Dad just goes ahead and writes Santa and...
Jingle All The Way. Jingle All The Way is not just an unfairly maligned Christmas movie, it's also a pretty good Power Rangers movie in disguise. Go with me here. Turbo Man is a hero for our time, as are dads like Howard Langston and Myron Larrabee, who, in the true spirit of Christmas, will brave crowded malls to make sure their kids get the perfect present under the tree on Christmas morning. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Phil Hartman, and directed by Brian Levant. Critics say Arnold Schwarzenegger tries his best, but Jingle All The Way suffers from an uneven tone, shifting wildly from a would-be satire on materialism to an antic slapstick yuck fest.
Sorry, buddy.
Give me this.
Hey!
This is war.
Woo!
Yeah!
Cool.
Oh, poor baby. Turbo Man.
Hey, lady! Hey, hold it! Wait! Wait, lady! I need the Turbo Man!
And finally, number one, The Santa Claus 2. The Santa Claus 2 is a charming second reminder to always read the fine print, and one that's just 5% shy of freshness on the Tomatometer. Now, it's fun to see Tim Allen as a more confident Santa Claus in his second go-around, and the film operates in a neat space thematically. Everything is fantastical and Christmassy, while also being grounded with talk of contracts, parenting, and finding love after divorce. I mean, we might as well call it Christmas magic realism. Starring Tim Allen, Elizabeth Mitchell, David Krumholtz, and directed by Michael Lembeck. Critics say, though it's harmless as family entertainment and has moments of charm, The Santa Claus 2 is also predictable and forgettable.
Partridge in a pear tree.
Yep.
You take us to Elfcom 1. Let's rig for silent running. Look alive, everybody.
Okay, we're at Elfcom 1.
friends, that about does it for us. Be sure to stay tuned to the Rotten Tomatoes channel for more of the entertainment content you love. Until next time, I'm your host, Naz Perez, and we'll see you back here for more Top 10s on the Rotten Tomatoes Countdown.